Do you really think you're prepared for what's coming? The world is on the brink of collapse, and while you live your life, forces you can't even imagine are getting ready to seize total control. The Antichrist won't just be a distant figure from books. He will become your reality. Thousands will be deceived, hypnotized by false promises of peace and prosperity. And the scariest part? Even those who consider themselves spiritually strong will fall into the trap. This is the perfect plan to dominate your soul and corrupt everything you believe in. If you think you're safe, think again. The manipulation of hope. How the Antichrist will use false miracles to control the masses. The Antichrist won't reveal himself as an enemy, but as the very embodiment of the hope humanity has longed for. He will appear in the midst of chaos, performing miracles that defy logic and confuse even the purest hearts. Crowds will believe they are witnessing salvation, but they will be blinded by carefully orchestrated illusions. Have you ever thought about how it would feel to fall into such a well-crafted trap? Imagine feeling the warmth of a light that seems divine but consumes the soul. He will feed this false hope, offering what the world has always wanted, quick and easy solutions, but at a price. Every miracle will be an invisible chain, imprisoning souls and diverting them from the true path. To avoid falling into this trap, you must question the source of these apparent blessings. Be wary of the blinding light, for it is there where the greatest danger lurks. Look at the first pinned comment and see what is being revealed. The rise of saviors, appearances of false prophets preparing the way for the Antichrist. Before the Antichrist arrives, the world will be flooded by a wave of false prophets. They will not come as declared enemies, but as saviors, promising peace, prosperity, and answers to all questions. Their words will be sweet and convincing, and many will follow them, unaware that they are being led to the abyss. They will speak in the name of light, but will bring darkness in their empty promises, and the most dangerous part? They will pave the way for the true destroyer, planting seeds of doubt and despair. Each false prophet will be a piece in the Antichrist game, shaping the mindset of the masses, making them believe they are on the right path. However, these appearances will be a smokescreen, hiding the true face of the evil that is to come. Be vigilant, for it's not just with words you should judge, but with the Spirit. What seems like temporary salvation may in fact be the beginning of eternal damnation. The end of goodness. How the Antichrist will pervert morality, turning good into evil. When the Antichrist rises, goodness as we know it will be destroyed. He won't just distort what it means to be good, but will make the very idea of goodness seem pointless. Compassion will be ridiculed, empathy will be seen as weakness, and selfishness will be celebrated as virtue. Who you are and what you believe will be tested to the limit. Have you ever felt like nothing good you do is enough? Comment below. Morality will be twisted to such an extent that even the most kind-hearted will start doubting their own actions. Souls, lost and confused, will end up embracing this new way of thinking, where good and evil become indistinguishable. The Antichrist will be the master of this inversion, making you question everything you once believed to be right. He will transform hearts, leading people to act cruelly, all the while believing they are on the right path. It is in this confusion that he will reign. Even the chosen fall. Why even the most spiritual are not immune to deception. Even the most devoted will not be protected from the Antichrist's deception. He will come with such subtle strategies that even the spiritually enlightened will be tested. Those who believe their prayers and spiritual practices shield them from all evil may find themselves caught in a mental and spiritual trap. Spiritual pride could be your downfall, for this is exactly what the Antichrist will use against you. He will manipulate your beliefs, distorting your practices, until you can no longer distinguish between good and evil. Even the purest souls, connected to the divine, will be shaken by this confrontation. Therefore, always remain vigilant, constantly reviewing your motives and testing your spirit. Don't think you are immune, for it is in overconfidence that he will find gaps. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring these spiritual truths and strengthen ourselves together. Technology and the new religion. How the Antichrist will control minds through modernity, The Antichrist will dominate through technology. Imagine a society where social media, artificial intelligence, and the control of information are used to manipulate minds on a massive scale. Through invisible algorithms, he will decide what you see, what you believe, and even how you feel. Each time you click on something, he will shape your thoughts and desires. The digital world will become an extension of your being, and that is exactly what he will use against you. With a single touch, he will create a new religion, one where technology becomes the only God. He will offer convenience, quick answers, and easy solutions to all your concerns. But this modernity will be your prison. You will unknowingly surrender your free will in exchange for comfort. The Antichrist will control hearts and minds, not by force, but through the power of information. What was once a tool will become a weapon, and your soul will be at stake. Look at the first pinned comment for more information. Faith for sale. When churches embrace the Antichrist and betray their followers. In times of crisis, even churches will bow to the power of the Antichrist. This won't just be a battle between good and evil, but a war within the religions themselves. Spiritual leaders, in exchange for control and influence, will sell their souls and betray those who follow them. They will justify their actions with words that sound righteous, but hide a dark truth. The churches that were supposed to protect the faith of their followers will end up being instruments of spiritual destruction. Many won't realize they are being led into the abyss. Faith will be up for sale, and those who buy into it will be signing an invisible pact with the Antichrist. This is the cruelest trap, turning religion, which should be the anchor of souls, into a tool of manipulation. Have you seen signs of this around you? Comment below. Be vigilant, for your faith cannot be determined by corrupt leaders, but by the truth in your heart. The despair of the soul. How the Antichrist will feed on fear and anxiety to weaken the spirit. The Antichrist will use fear and anxiety as his most powerful weapons. He will know exactly how to target hearts and minds, creating an atmosphere of constant despair. People will live in a state of panic, always expecting the next disaster, always on the brink of emotional collapse. In this state of vulnerability, he will offer the false promise of security. Have you ever felt on the edge of despair, looking for a way out? Comment below. Desperate for relief, people will surrender to him, believing they are seeking peace, but that peace will be an illusion, an emotional prison that will only deepen the despair. The Antichrist won't need to use physical force because minds will already be under his control. It's essential to strengthen the spirit in order to resist, for those who allow themselves to be led by fear will inevitably become his greatest victims. Subscribe to the channel so that we can prepare spiritually together against these attacks. The illusion of peace, the dangerous path that will lead many to embrace the Antichrist as savior. When chaos grips the world, the Antichrist will present himself as the only solution to bring peace. He will appear as the great mediator, promising to resolve global conflicts and heal humanity's wounds. This will be his greatest trap, the false peace he offers. People, weary from war and destruction, will kneel before him, unaware that they are embracing evil itself. He will create temporary stability, a superficial peace, designed only to seduce and imprison. Many, in their desperation for tranquility, will accept his promises without question. However, true peace will not come from empty words or magical solutions. The peace he brings will be the prelude to destruction. To resist, it's essential to recognize that not everything that glitters is gold, and the true savior will never come with easy promises. Keep your eyes open and look at the first pinned comment for further revelations. The final war, how good will be tested in an unprecedented spiritual battle. The arrival of the Antichrist will mark only the beginning of an unprecedented spiritual battle. He will not come with physical armies, but with legions of lost souls, corrupted by his manipulation. The true war will be fought within each of us, a struggle for control of our spirits. Have you ever felt like you're in the midst of a spiritual battle? Share your experience below. Those who resist will be tested to the limits of their faith, facing doubts and challenges they never imagined. The signs of the end will be everywhere: confusion, suffering, and a sense that the world is falling apart. But even in the midst of darkness, there will be hope. The Antichrist may have power over the earth, but goodness will not be defeated. Every soul that resists will be a beacon of light, a reminder that the true power lies in the purity of the Spirit. This is a war that will be won not with weapons, but with faith and courage. The final temptation: how the Antichrist will offer the world in exchange for the soul. The Antichrist's final offer will be irresistible to many. He will offer the entire world in exchange for one thing: your soul. He will tell you that you can have everything you ever wanted without effort, without sacrifice. Fame, power, wealth, and even immortality will be promised, but this will be the deadliest temptation of all. What he truly desires is total control over your essence, over what makes you truly human. And many will give in, thinking they can have it all without losing anything. But every choice comes with a price, and the price the Antichrist demands will be eternal. The temptation will be sweet, but the end will be bitter. That is why you must be prepared to resist the seduction of the material world, for what is at stake is much more than you realize.